Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. Sorry about that. I had a couple of technical difficulties getting started. So the plan was to get on my phone, but I'm not exactly sure how to start a live stream on, or schedule a live stream on your computer and then actually do it on your phone. So, yep, just doing it on my computer now. All right, so let me know if it's too loud and I can go back inside. And let me open up the app on my phone so I can see what questions y'all might have. Live stream on. Hey CF Garcia, hey Felipe, how are you guys doing? And let me get the proverbial coffee out. Bit lukewarm. Welcome. So how are you guys doing? So this is just something I plan on doing once a week if people are interested in it. Basically, the idea is that I can answer y'all's questions. We can just sit and talk. Friday was the most popular day based on the poll that we'd taken. So yeah, just picked this up on a Friday, and we can get started. Hey Felipe, hey CF Garcia, how are you guys doing? Doing well. What's up, Yash? Adil, nice to meet you guys. Nice to see you guys again. Nice to see you guys. Yeah, so I work in the United States. So right now it is 5 o'clock my time, 5 o'clock p.m. So right after work. Why coffee so late? So it's a Friday night and I want to go out tonight. So get some coffee to get the energy up because I'm so tired. Hello. I really want to go to Costa Rica one day. The closest I've gone is Panama actually, but maybe after I can travel abroad more easily, I'll go to Costa Rica next. Yeah, unfortunately, I know that some people are from the UK and Europe, and this is a bit of a difficult time for them to get on. But I have to pick some time, and there's always going to be someone who can't get on. But hopefully, I can also find a time to do a live stream every once in a while. That's that they can more easily access. All right, so we have Yash, Adil, Jack Mag, CF Garcia, Felipe. And anyway, so for anyone that's wondering, my name is Shashank Kalanathy, and I'm a data analyst working out of the United States. So I work for a major fashion retailer in the U.S., and I work as a data analyst in corporate strategy. So basically any major initiatives that they want to take on, stuff like that, I provide all the background research and analytics for that. Nice to see you, Devela. Saw your TikTok. Thank you so much. So yeah, I actually I made a TikTok recently because I found it to be a great way to reach out to more people that I wouldn't normally get a hold of and bring them over to the YouTube family. So I have a friend who works in social media consulting or something, and he basically mentioned that TikTok is a great tool to build up a following because it has such a great recommendation algorithm, and it seems to be working pretty well. All right. Looks like we got a couple of questions coming in. Okay. So, where are you from India? So, my family is actually from Tamil Nadu, but I've never lived in India. I've gone there a couple of times, but yeah, my family's from Tamil Nadu. All right, any tips on learning stats for data analysis and data science? So, I think when it comes to learning anything, for me, I always have to have some kind of a project to use it on or some reason to use it, right? Because if I don't, even if I were to learn the thing, I would just forget it as soon as I learned it. So I think a good strategy for learning anything, and this applies to stuff like statistics and stuff like that too, is if you can find an application for it, then I think that'll make it easiest for you to learn. I'll give you an example. So I actually was working on a project at one of my older companies where I had to determine if the warranty rate of batteries coming out of certain factories was significantly higher than the warranty rate of batteries coming out of other factories. And in order to test this out, I used ANOVA testing, so analysis of variance, basically testing to see if there was a significant difference in the variance between the warranty rates of the different factories. And that gave me the inspiration and an application of statistics that actually led me to learn a little bit more than I expected to. So I think the trick really is finding a real application for it. All right. Can you describe your day job at Nordstrom in more detail? Yeah. Okay. So I am a data analyst. I work corporate strategy. So there are two major things I do. I work on a machine learning platform, which I won't disclose too much information on, but there's a machine learning platform we're building out, and I work on that. and I used my Python skills and my knowledge of machine learning in order to contribute to that project. And the basic idea is that we want to use this platform to make like certain analytics more easy or more easily done in the company, so it's a pretty cool platform. It's a great project, and I would say probably the bulk of my time is actually spent doing a lot of analytics work. So let me elaborate. Someone comes in and they don't have an analytics team attached to them. So for example, at Nordstrom, our supply chain team has an analytics team attached to it, as does, I believe, marketing. But a team that doesn't have an analytics team attached to them comes by and they say, okay, we have XYZ questions. We want to know more about XYZ. The COO wants to know more about this. I've been involved in a project where the COO keeps asking these interesting questions, and we have to keep pulling data for them. So then what I do is I have to go around asking different people in the company, okay, where is this data located? And then documenting that so people in the future don't have to go around asking like I do. And then writing what I would call somewhat complicated SQL queries in order to pull the data in a format that will most easily work for us, and then try and anticipate what other questions the business will come with, and then answer those ahead of time too. Put all that inside a Tableau dashboard, run some analyses, write some Python code if I need to, put some of it inside Excel, and then present that to the business. That's kind of my day-to-day. Hey, Aaron Gibson, nice to meet you. How does a biochem graduate break into the data analyst world? So actually, okay, so I'm a chemistry graduate, so fellow natural science graduate over here. I'd say there's two major ways you can do it. The way I did it is I just ignored the fact that I had a chemistry degree, and I found a lot of people don't really care about your degree after your first job. So the difficulties in getting that first job, which I was just kind of lucky to get it, but you could really say you wanted to break into data science, right? Data science is like a science in many ways. There's not like a set number of processes and like machine learning algorithms that you run in order to come up with a certain solution. You have to kind of experiment with the data, and you can kind of make up a story around that as to how your scientific background makes you fit for a data scientist role or an analytics role. The good thing is you have a biochem major and not a non-STEM major. So I would kind of if you're having trouble getting a job, really see how far you can twist the analytical work you did in your major to get there. I mean, at the end of the day, at least at the bachelor's level, we are expected to get these degrees, and many of us won't actually use them on a daily basis in our job. Some of us will, but many of us won't. And that's just kind of my take on it. All right, and let me know if I'm not answering your questions clearly. I can go back into it. All right, can you make Python tutorials on how to scrape data from websites? Yes, I can, and I kind of have. There was this project I worked on. Actually, let me turn around a little bit, give you guys a little bit of a better view. So there was this project I worked on a couple of weeks ago. It's a live stream I did where I scraped Instagram for comments. So you can go ahead and check that video, but to your point, I can go ahead and make more videos on that. Okay, so let me twist a little bit. There we go. Little bit darker than I would like, but whatever. All right. A, what sort of skills do you need to enter an MSc in data science? I don't know if I'm the best person to answer that question, as I don't have an MS myself. I would say if you can get real life work experience though, and good grades and a good GMAT, whatever test you would take, the GRE, that's it. Yeah, a good GRE score. That's about as good as you can do, I'd say. But I myself don't have a master's in data science, so I'm not sure. CF Garcia, have you thought about getting into any FANG company? Yeah. I mean, I would definitely be interested in working in a FANG company. I think that some of the most interesting analytics work right now is done at those companies. And so, yeah, I think that would be a great idea. And I would definitely I would like to know that I could do that, Develas, are data analyst boot camps worth it? No previous data analyst experience. I use intermediate Excel in my current job and want to change career. Okay, so this is an interesting thing, right? I think everyone has a different take on this. I would say if you have a job right now and you can do analytics work inside it, I would do that and then put that transform my resume, really twist my resume to be oh, look at all this analytics work I've already done. Kind of make your role seem it's very analytical. What I'm saying over here is that experience is the number one thing people care about, and you don't have to go to a boot camp to get it, especially if you're in the workforce. That's not saying don't do boot camp. For some people, boot camp is a better idea, and I know people that's what they did. But I truly believe that unless you're in some role that like you truly just do not use analytics and you don't have any opportunity to do so, if you watch my videos on like SQL, Python, Tableau, and then you go and apply that stuff at the office, and then write that down in your resume and say like, look at all this analytical work that I've done, and then just apply for a data analyst role, that's better. This is a better use of your money. That's what I would say. But I'm not saying don't go to a boot camp. I just think that you don't really have to. Okay, let's see. Jack Mag, thanks for elaborating. Typical work hours, 8 hours. Nordstrom is very respectful of work-life balance. Very, very occasionally I'll work a weekend, but that's really more of my own initiative than the company forcing me to. So I would say like it was really interesting. I was watching a TikTok of a software developer, and like data analysts aren't software engineers, but like there are a similar set of skills with people that do analytics work and people that do software engineering work, and there is some overlap between the two jobs. And he brought up a really interesting point where like people couldn't believe the amount that software engineers get paid for the amount that they work, and it's true. A lot of like these technical professions are such that like you can actually get some pretty solid work-life balance, as long as you work at the right company. There are some companies, one particularly in Fang, that's not known for its work-life balance, but many others are. Okay, Top Fusion TV. What's the major difference between SQL and using Excel or Tableau Prep to filter data? Excel, excluding Power Query, right? So Power Query is like a different monster entirely. But Excel by itself, you can't track steps in your process as easily. Tableau Prep, not every company uses it, and you have to have a Tableau license in order to get Tableau Prep, which your company may or may not buy for you. And SQL is incredibly standard. Every single database every relational database uses it. It's super standard. Every company uses SQL, and I would say that's like the major difference. That's why I would say like if you want to get into like hardcore analytics, like analytics, so not like I am a finance person and I also do some analytics in my job, like someone like me who like my job is analytics, and you can like put me in any position, I will do analytics with your data. You have to learn SQL because it's kind of the standard language of analytics. That and Python or R. Okay, Aaron Gibson, thanks for responding. I'll do exactly that. Well, I'm always glad whenever my advice is helpful. And be sure to ask other people too. I'm just one guy, and I have I have my experience, and my experience is, it is limited. It's one human's experience. So, while I'm very, very glad that you guys are asking me, I would say definitely seek a secondary opinion as well. Okay, Quadruple Dash. Just wanted to say, love your content. Please keep it going. I studied finance in college and work in consulting, and your content is super helpful to someone like me. Love it, love it. I also see you have a BMW in your profile picture. I can't tell what it is. Is that a 4 Series? I'm a huge car geek, so I just got to know. Myself was trying to build technical. Well, thank you so much. Edward Kim. Okay, let's see what we have here. What's a portfolio project that would wow you? And hi, Sean. Well, hi, Edward. Okay, so I would be wowed by anything you show a passion for. So I'll give the example I always give is I'm into cars. So for example, what I might do is I would create a project where or let's do basketball. Basketball is an easier one. Go ahead and see if you can find any shot data, and then try and create like a shot chart of like where different shots are taken. Try and create like these visually stunning charts. And after you create those visually stunning charts, then go ahead and start asking yourself questions. And then walk me through your questions, and then walk me through how you answer those questions. So for example, let me go back to the car example. I like cars, okay. What is the most profitable car company in the world? Toyota. Okay, why is it the most profitable car company in the world? And then I start doing an analysis, and I'm like, okay, you look at you look at how much they spend on their factories, and you look at how much they spend on recalls and XYZ, and it's less than GM or Ford or any of these other, or like Honda or any other company, because the processes they have in place are such that they don't have to recall cars as often. I'm just putting together some words over here that may or may not be true. I haven't done the analysis myself. But I think anything that you can talk about passionately and add numbers to would be very impressive, Edward. Francis Okoye, who is a Power BI developer? Is that also like a data analyst role? Yeah. I would say a Power BI developer doesn't necessarily need to know SQL, but I would say a data analyst doesn't have to know SQL, but a lot of data analysts are better off learning SQL. All right, so Power BI developers. So Power BI developers don't necessarily have to know SQL. I kind of started off as a Tableau developer. That's what a lot of the work I was doing how to do it. So I would say, yeah, that's probably what the big difference is. I think data analysts, you have a lot more flexibility in that role. So there's a lot of these roles that like are like interchangeable kind of, right? So like you could even call some of the work that like, I do today is like Tableau development. Okay, so we have quite a few questions. 435i with an MPP kit. Nice. So quadruple hash or quadruple dash. What should I call you? Instead of calling you quadruple hyphen or quadruple dash, the BMW guy, I'm really looking to get a Supra. I really want one of those new Supras. But it's between that and like an M4 or something. So, just as you guys know, I'm a big car guy. All right, so Dudkan Shrestha. What is the initial salary for a data analyst or data? So, Dudkan, I would definitely say please avoid, I don't know if you did this on accident or not, but please avoid spamming the comment section. I will try and get through all these questions, but spamming it's not going to help. Okay, initial salary depends. It's highly dependent. And if you're in the U.S., it's very different from like other countries. The U.S. just tends to pay higher salaries on average. In Dallas, for example, so I'll tell you for Dallas, Texas, because that's where I know a lot of people, and that's where like I got started. You can expect to make anything starting from, as a data analyst, like 45 to like 60K maybe. Prepared to feel that a lot. I have my feelings about the education system, but I would definitely say not preparing people for the real workforce is one of my stronger feelings about it. I would say it is the big like it's okay that you don't feel prepared for it. Neither do a lot of other people. So like I think the first thing to realize that you're not alone and you're in the same boat as many other people. So take a deep breath, take a step back, and we were all in the exact same position. I think staying calm and knowing that like it's okay to learn on the job. You're not expected to come into the job knowing everything. You're expected to come into the job and learn with these types of professions, and that's okay. Is the thing that calmed me down the most whenever I was like faced with something I just didn't really understand or I felt unprepared for something. So I think that's a tremendous question, Claudia. Thank you for asking that. All right. Sayhudge778. No questions, just please keep doing these day in the life videos. Uncut ones would be even better. Really helps with the work perspective. Thank you so much, Sayhudge. Yeah, so I minimally cut it, only because there are sections where I'm kind of just like it looks like I'm doing nothing for like 5 minutes in a row, and no one will. I don't think anyone wants to watch that. So I like cut those sections out. But yeah, I'll keep doing the projects. I'm glad you guys like them. I think they're unique to YouTube. Like, you guys like let me know, is this unique to YouTube or not? Because I'm not aware of anyone else that does these types of videos. And I want to know because I kind of feel like that's like my thing and like what I can like grow my channel with, because obviously I want to grow the channel. All right, ape terms. The Veils. I'm currently in a 6-month data analytics boot camp, and I would have never exposed myself or had the discipline to go over this stuff I'm learning right now. Hey, and that's a great point you bring up. Ape terms. Like it is. If it gets you the results you're looking for, if it gets you the job by giving you the discipline and giving you the material that you need to know, then it's totally worth the investment, I should have said that too, but thank you so much for mentioning that, ape terms. Michael Contente, how would you get data sets to practice? Felipe is right, Kaggle or pull them yourself from the internet. Government websites have so many data sets, especially the U.S. government and all of like the cities around the U.S. So like New York City, Chicago, all these cities have tremendous data sets. JTL Judo Man, how goes the ML job search? Well, so I'm not specifically searching for a job right now. I'm more looking to do more ML work in my current job. But yeah, that's definitely what I'm looking to do. But thank you for asking. Braden Hess, what specific variety of analyst are you? Data, sales, marketing, strategic data. So basically, I'm a data analyst for any work or for any team that doesn't have a data analyst attached to them, and like for any work that like any questions executives want answered. Like I work with a team that answers those questions. Claudia W, do you think it would be a good data engineer? Do you think you need to be a good data engineer to be a good? Not at all. Data engineers and data scientists are very related professions, but also very different. Pro tip, data engineers actually get paid more than data scientists on average. And I think that as a data scientist, you have to know some of the skills of data engineering. So for example, like how to like ETL data, how like a basic database is set up. Like that's just helpful to know, but you'll pick that up on the job. So the answer is no, you do not have to know how to be a data engineer to be a good data scientist. But some of the skills will be helpful because the jobs do overlap. Top Fusion TV, thank you, man. I will continue learning SQL. And I have a video for it on my YouTube channel. Sanjay P. Yeah, I think that's a. So Sanjay, you have to, if you could, would you be able to give a location with that, because it drastically changes based on the location you're at. So for example, California, San Francisco data analysts get paid way more than like Dallas ones, for example. Edward Kim, thanks for the answer, man. Love the content. Keep up the grind. Hey, there you go. Just keep up the grind, guys. That's what it's all about. And by the way, guys, a little plug for my stuff over here. So my name is Shashank. For anyone that's just joined, my name is Shashank. I'm a data analyst working for Nordstrom, which is a major North American fashion retailer. And I make videos that show you a real day in the life of a data analyst and the real work a data analyst does. So I minimally cut my videos, and I just show you me doing a project from start to finish, and I answer questions. And I'm going to try and doing one of these Q&As once every Friday. If Friday becomes too much, I might switch them to Wednesdays, because that was the second most popular day around this time. But I'll let you guys know like ahead of time before I do it. So thank you guys so much for joining. If you want to support my work, my Patreon is by far the best way to support my work. It's on my other videos. I didn't link it in this one, but it's in my other videos. And if you can't, that's okay. What you could also do is on my YouTube videos, don't skip the ads and watch the ads through. I know it's a little bit annoying, but that actually gives revenue to my channel whenever you do that. So thank you so much for your support. And now back to the questions. All right, so Monsef, thanks for the efforts you put into the content. Thank you so much. Dudkun, sorry for the spam. Totally fine. Okay. Let me just make sure I'm not missing out anything. Okay, so Kalyan, will ML/data analytics field get automated in the future, affecting job opportunities? Your thoughts on it, please. So what I think is, it's a tough one. I think certain parts of it will be automated, and certain things will be less necessary. So if you even think about, like, the work that data scientists do, right? Like building out machine learning models and stuff like that. Of course, you still need data scientists. Machine learning models still have to be built out. But there are certain aspects of the model building process that have been automated. So I think that data analytics as a field won't be automated. Like, it's too complicated. And like, the thing about automation is automation stops working, at least the way it currently is, in many ways, when any nuance is added to problems and like complexity is added to problems. Like, I know we have RPA and stuff, which is like starting to become more and more popular, but it is often difficult for companies to implement this kind of stuff, and companies move quite slowly, quite honestly, So I would say there's nothing to really worry about. Just keep building up the skills and, and keep upskilling yourself, and you'll be totally fine. But great question. Maya L, MYAL. Okay. In your first job, if you experience imposter syndrome, how did you overcome it? Okay, so I would say I am not the best example of someone who took care of his mental health with his first job. I would just work 12 hours a day, and I would be like, okay, like, I'm completely useless. I know nothing about this stuff. I don't even know why they hired me. And I would just work 12 hours a day to make myself feel better. So your question was, how did I handle it? That's how I handled it, and it's not a good way to handle it. It's a very bad way of handling it. And I would not say I'm a paragon of tremendous mental health. Something I'm working on, but I would not call myself a paragon of tremendous mental health. How I think you should handle it is coming into the job knowing that as long as you are learning and working hard, and putting in your most honest effort and understanding the needs of the business and executing on that understanding, then no one probably knows there are probably very few people that know significantly more than you, and if they do, then it's your boss's fault for hiring you into a position you shouldn't have been in, and you can kind of just rise up to the occasion. So I would say not taking too much responsibility for knowing everything is a great way to handle that. It's very much a mental game, unfortunately. It's I hate saying things are mindset things, but that's kind of like a mindset thing, But you could always just study and but imposter syndrome is very much a mindset thing. So even if you study but you don't deal with the underlying problem, then it still stays there. So it is a bit of a mindset thing. Michael Contente, US data, data.gov. So data.gov is a great website for US data sets. Top Fusion TV. Do you have a recommendation on a book to read on how to create hypothesis and inferential insight based on the data after transforming? I hope you get the question. That's an interesting question. The Lean Six Sigma Toolbox. I think that's a really good book. It's not specifically what you're talking about, but I think it's a great book that does go over like statistical and hypothesis testing for the situations that you're talking about. That's what I used at least. JTL Judo Man. Okay, so let me just make sure I'm not missing out any questions. Oh, Claudia, by the way, don't skip ads. Skipping ads is so like by not skipping ads, you're supporting me. My Patreon is the best way to support me otherwise. Let me see if I can actually add that to this video. But let me not distract myself too much. Well, where is the live chat? Okay. Top Fusion TV, will you create exclusive and detailed videos on your Patreon? I don't mind subscribing. Okay, so I will create more videos on my Patreon. Right now, I'm not, but on my Patreon, what I am creating is any of the notes that I write for my content. That's all on the Patreon. It's not on my YouTube. So I write these like what I feel are high quality notes, and I put them on my Patreon. And I also have a Discord on my Patreon that I'm more active on as far as like talking to subscribers. So I will say that's the current value prop of it. And it's something I'm working to build out more of in the future. Francis Okoye, is it worth doing data analytics certification like DA100 exams? If you're having trouble getting a job, then I think so. If you're not having trouble getting a job, then don't worry about it. Okay, let's see. JTL Judo Man, I've been doing a lot of prep work for a change of job. Been in IT forever and decided that I actually want to use my physics degree, so I'm going to go for deep learning. Hey, there you go. Hey, congratulations, man. That's awesome work. Google has a TensorFlow certification, which might be useful for you. Even if the certification isn't useful, so I'm a TensorFlow like certified dev or something. It just means I know TensorFlow basically. That certification is a great way to study up on TensorFlow in order to learn neural networks more easily. So JTL Judo Man, I highly recommend it. Chetan, okay. Hi, do you know about a role for data scientists in transaction monitoring? So I don't actually give out roles if that's what your question is. Could you be more specific, please, Chetan? Okay, JTL Judo Man, your videos have been great for basics and getting me started on various things and learning the scope and topology of the environment that I wanted to really love the video. Oh, thank you so much, JTL. That's awesome. Aditya Raj Aurora, does data analyst require us to be proficient in coding? If not, also, if anyone sends a super chat, I'll be answering those first. Obviously, because those pop up higher up. Does data analyst require us to be proficient in coding? If we are not much into coding, will it be a good career choice? So you don't have to be much into coding, but you have to know SQL. And SQL is not coding, but SQL is not that hard, and it's not coding. I would say, long story short, no. And there's a lot of work you can do in analytics that doesn't require coding. But you will also run into a lot of walls if you don't want to learn Python, for example. But one thing I would be aware is my brother's a software engineer, for example, right? And I'm a data analyst. We both know how to program, but he knows how to program at a much deeper level than I do. I only know how to use pandas, NumPy, web scraping, some stuff. So I know some basic libraries in Python. So I can't be a software engineer, but I'm a data analyst. So even if you don't like coding, the amount of coding you have to know to be like a good data analyst and data scientist is not that much. So that's just a note I should put out there. Michael Contente, this Kaggle website is amazing, thank you. Yeah, Kaggle's amazing, check it out. Great job, Felipe, thank you so much for helping him out. Sayhead778, yes, haven't seen anyone else do full-length day in the life of a data scientist. Okay, it's almost like we're working together virtually when I'm watching the videos. Thank you so much, I'm so glad that it's unique. That's kind of what I was going for. And I'm just scrolling to the bottom. Do you have any data analytics course on Udemy? I actually don't right now. I'm not putting any of my coursework as paid work. I just put it out as free on my YouTube, and my notes are on my Patreon for $5 a month. But I don't have anything on Udemy right now. Maybe I'll have one in the future, but I currently don't have anything. Okay, I'm skipping around a little bit, by the way, but I'm trying to answer everyone's questions. Anuj Dale, different sets of skills for data engineer versus data analyst. Which type of work is done in data engineering profile? Thanks for that real life into data. Okay, awesome. Okay, so data analyst versus data engineer. Data engineers their job is to take massive amounts of data and put it into databases. That sounds super simple, but it can get incredibly complicated. And then it can even get more interesting where, like, basically, here's how it works. there's the business, right? The person asking the question. A data analyst will go to the business and be like, okay, like what questions do you have and how can I answer them? And then they will pull all of the data from the databases, and they'll go to the data engineer and say, hey, I need this data in this, which is like on the website. I need that inside a database. So the data engineer works one level below the data analyst and makes sure the data is easily available for the data analyst. In an ideal company, it doesn't always work like that, and it changes from company to company. Larger companies will work like that, though. Francis Okoye, I did answer your question. JTL Judo Man, have you noticed a large differential working from home versus working in the building? I like working in the building personally. I'm a huge, I just like socializing, talking to people in the building and working over there. Working from home, I find, offers you a lot of flexibility with your life. Like with careers like ours, like the analytics careers, we're very blessed in the way that as long as you show up to meetings, quite honestly, and as long as you get all your work done and you show up to meetings, you can kind of manage your schedule however you want to. And I think that kind of flexibility is a great blessing and is a really cool part of working from home. So you can take a shower at 12 o'clock in the afternoon if you want to, and I've done that before. Or eat lunch at 3 if you want to. You don't have to maintain a strict schedule, and you can get up a lot later because you don't have to carpool anymore. So I would say that's a big difference. Magic Video 626. I'm 22. I have a BS in mechanical engineering. Mechie, awesome. Were you the Mechie that asked a question on my TikTok? There was a mechanical engineer that asked a question on my TikTok. And I've been doing projects, but should I go back to school for an MS in computer science? So Magic Video 626, it depends on what you want. You have to specify, what do you actually want out of your career? I think that there is a big advantage to getting an MSc early, because you can kind of finish school and not worry about it, because a lot of companies are expecting people to have master's degrees at some point in time. And for example, I only have a bachelor's. At some point in time, I'm probably going to have to go back and get a master's, and it kind of sucks because I don't want to go back to school right now. But you got to do what you got to do, right? All right. Oh, hey, Aaron, thank you so much. So Aaron Gibson, thank you. Did you have any questions? You gave me a thumbs up. I'm not sure if you had any questions though. But if anyone else wants to send me a super chat, let me know. Thank you. Okay. Jose Garcia, this channel is unique, diamond in the hand. Hey, thank you so much. I'm so glad. And if you guys have any ideas or all, just leave them in the chat below, leave them in the comment section below. I digest all of your ideas, and then I try and see how I can implement them as fast as I can. I should let you guys know. So I have my full-time job, and I run a consulting firm on the side, and then I do this YouTube thing on top of it, which leaves literally no room for my social life. Not complaining, just saying that I'm quite busy. So if I don't have a video out every single week, just want to let my subscribers know why that might be the case. But thank you guys so much for your support, and let's get back to the questions. Nameka, I think I knew a Nameka back in school, just mentioning. I want to be a data analyst just like you. Hey, well, there you go. Let's be on this journey together. Top Fusion TV, will you create exclusive and detailed videos on your Patreon? Don't mind subscribing. Eventually I will. Currently I'm not. I'm actually working on a product right now. Let me know if you guys think this is interesting. So it'll be a bunch of interview questions with me answering. So and it would be SQL, Python, technical non-coding, and then Tableau and Power BI questions. And I would have a video where I answer every single question. So it would be maybe 50 to 500 questions. I'm not too sure how many. Don't hold me to anything. And I would answer all these questions with a personal video. And what I'm thinking is I would, offer this for a couple dollars, as just a digital product on the side. Let me know if you guys are interested in that. The questions would all be questions that I made up myself. I didn't look them up anywhere. You won't find them on any question bank or anything. They're all brand new questions that I created. So let me know if you guys would be interested in something like that. It's been an idea that I've been throwing around a little bit, basically an interview pack. How do I get you ready for an interview? Mark Frailer, how do I stand out as an intern in data analytics? Try and create a real business difference. So think about it this way. When you work in corporate America, and I'm only talking about corporate America, right? Because that's where I work. When you work in corporate America, if you can change the bottom or top line, basically the amount of revenue that the company brings in, you are the king or queen. So if you can find a project where you can look for, ask people go around and ask people what problems are you having, and just write down every single problem someone has, and then rank what are you saving for that person if you solve that problem. Are you saving hours? Are you saving money? Or are you saving something else, or are you earning money for the company, and then document that, pick the problem with the highest ROI, focus on that one, and you'll make your mark as an intern and probably get a job offer. A lot of interns are not as forward as they should be, and maybe we should encourage that, and I think that's a great way to stand out as an intern. Nameka, my questions is, what's the difference between data analyst, analytic, data science, and business analysis? So this is an interesting question. Okay, so data science is basically what I call the advanced application of analytics and data to solve business questions. So this is where you have to like know like some coding language. You'll probably be using like more advanced statistics. You'll be given one problem and you'll be asked to solve this problem because no one else can really find a solution to it. That's kind of like what you do as a data scientist. As a data analyst, you are more kind of like answering less complicated business questions, but you're closer to the business. So data analyst and data scientist, one is not more important than the other, because sometimes the questions that data scientists answer are not high impact questions, sometimes. And sometimes the questions that need to be answered cannot be answered by a data analyst. So depending on the situation, they're both equally important, which is something I really want to stress. Okay, let's see. Okay, thank you, Mohammed. I am taking, so Mohammed, let me finish this question first, and then I'll get to your question in a second. Okay, so, and then business analysts will take requirements from the business. So the business wants to build some software tool. They will take those requirements and they will give it to the software developers. And they'll say, okay, software developers, this is how you design the solution. And they'll basically make sure that the business and the software developers like understand each other and understand each other's what needs to be done. Okay, Mohammed, thank you so much for your super chat. I am taking so a super chat looks like this, and I would answer those questions first. I'm taking the Google Data Analytics course put on by Coursera. I'm wondering if there is a better alternative use of my time. I think that's a tremendous course. I would say, are you working right now? If you are, doing a real life project with what you learn is a great use of your time. And make sure not to course hop too much. So after you've watched all of my videos, because my videos are free, so after you watch all of my videos, try not to course hop too much. So if you're doing the Coursera one, stick with that, finish it in its entirety, and then start applying it. Application. If you're not working right now and you can't use company data to do a project, then go to the data.gov website, or think about something you're really interested in. What are you interested in? Are you interested in basketball, football, cars? Maybe you're interested in bicycles or something like that. Sorry, someone's playing a lot of music downstairs. That's funny. And then pull some data on that, and then do a project on that, do analysis on that, start asking yourself questions. Okay, how many bicycles are there in New York City? Okay, why do so many people ride bicycles? Is there a socioeconomic divide between the people who ride bicycles and the people who don't? Stuff like that. I think that's where you, so finish the course you're on, watch all of my videos, and then do a project. That's what I'd say, Mohammed Ashori. Okay. I think I lost my place. Okay, okay, Maxim. Hello, Shashank. Is it a good idea to change from data analyst to product analyst? Why? I think it depends on what you want to do, right? Like a product analyst is a really cool role. I think a problem that can come out of data analyst roles, right, is it's not specific all the time. Excuse me. It's not necessarily specific, meaning that it doesn't your job may be just a job. You're just going in, you're doing the analytics, you're coming out, unless you love the work of analytics. But maybe you want to work with an automobile company. You want to work with a retail company or something that, or make your own product. If you eventually want to start your own business, I think a product analyst is a better position. I was a little bit windy over there. Belle, do you have any advice for reaching out to recruiters for companies? I've been struggling just to get interviews. That's a tough one. I've had very bad luck reaching out to recruiters on my end. Honestly, I'd say it's just a numbers game. Just reach out to as many as you can and customize your resume for everything you apply to. Not enough people do this. People will submit the same resume over and over again. I have a friend, what she does is really smart. She has a resume that's 5 pages long, and then she takes out, and it's basically bullet points written in 10 different ways, and then she'll take out everything that isn't related for a certain company and only keep 1 page worth of stuff for the company she wants to apply for. So customize your resumes. That's probably the best way to do it, because recruiters get inundated with job offers, XYZ, and so it's very important that you stick out with a tremendous resume. Word match, keyword match. And I'll be putting out a video at some point in time where I show you guys how to do that on a resume. Pandu, okay, by the way, yes, this Q&A will be uploaded on my channel. It might take a day or two, but it'll be there. Don't worry about it. I upload all my Q&As. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. In that case, let me go ahead and do that. So, let me answer someone's question while I'm at it. Nick YTB, how did you get into these side gigs for putting together data analysis? Upwork. Upwork is how I got started, and I built myself a really good name over there. So for anyone that wants to go like look up what I do in Upwork, I actually have I'm a top rated creator on Upwork. And so I think that is a big reason for the success that I'm having on the platform. And I would highly recommend it. All right, next person. Let's see. Claudia, thank you so much for the super chat, Claudia. As you guys can see over here. Yeah, so Claudia sent over a super chat as well, so thank you so much for that. Okay, what do you recommend for shy people facing a lot of presentations at work, at leading a project as an intern? Okay, this is an interesting question. I'm not sure I'm the best to answer, but let me give it a try. And thank you so much for your support. Okay, so I think there's a couple ways to solve imposter syndrome, right? So imposter syndrome is very much a mental thing, and that's okay, you know, like that's just the way it is. I would say one great way to help would be to go into the presentation and ask yourself before you are in the presentation, okay? Ask yourself, what would people ask me? What questions are people going to ask in the middle of my presentation? What questions could they possibly have? And try and answer every question ahead of time. By doing that, you've put yourself at a great advantage by being extra prepared for the presentation. You know, and I think that is something that is really easy not to do, but it's something that could greatly help you in dealing with imposter syndrome. So I think going in as prepared as you possibly can be is a way to do it. Oh, and ask your manager if you can. If your manager is able to, go ahead and ask them to go over your presentation ahead of time and let them see what they think about it. Because I think your manager will have they want you to succeed as well. So they'll probably have some great advice as to how you can improve as well. All right. So sorry about that, guys. So I just put my Patreon in the description of this video. You might have to refresh in order to see. All right. Okay, so next question. Statistics or coding for data scientists, what's more important? Okay. So this is very controversial. People I know, like data scientists I know, will usually say math, but I would argue coding, because coding is like, there's a lot of stuff you can do with coding as a data scientist that like you can implement a lot of stuff as a data scientist with coding that you can't if you only know the math behind it. So I would say coding, but people would disagree with me for sure. Okay, and I'm really sorry, guys. I just I have so many questions over here, so I'm like trying to get through all of them. Okay. Joshua Edwards, enjoy the videos and the high amount of interactions you have with viewers. Any plans for some portfolio projects using Python? Would be cool to see an example of SurveyMonkey one similar to that day. Okay, so Joshua, like I put out a video last week, this Sunday, I believe. Would that be similar to what you're talking about, or is that different? Let me know. Anas Ola, why don't you talk about statistics on your videos? So statistics is very useful. I'm not very good at it, and I'm learning it myself right now. That's why I don't talk about it very much. It really is more of a deficiency on my end rather than it not being useful itself. But I really want to in a future video. But thank you for bringing that up. Okay. Claudia W, it would be great to have... Oh, also, Claudia, are you from Switzerland? I see you donated in what looks like Swiss francs. Because that's super cool if you are. Thank you for joining. Well, in college, one of my good friends was actually from Switzerland. Really, really cool guy. I really want to go one day. It seems like a really cool place. Okay. Sanjay P, do you live in Dallas? I am actually from Dallas. I'm currently in Denver, but I am from Dallas, yes. Sahil Dugal, I'm a finance student, and I was wondering what's the best way to learn SQL and Python. My course. Go to my YouTube channel, check out my course, and I have a free Python and a free SQL course. Chetan, okay, Chetan, my question was, what data scientists do in domain of transaction monitoring? And okay, so transaction monitoring, usually they're there to make sure, or sorry, I can't say usually. In my experience, oftentimes what they'll do is they'll make sure that that transactions are consistent and there's no fraud inside the transaction. So that's a big part of what they do. Okay, Francis, do you have any data analytics course on Udemy? No. Io and Denzemia. Do you have any pro bono consulting or volunteer work? I see you have a section on your LinkedIn about it. If so, are you willing to connect through email or LinkedIn and talk about it? So I actually do I? Okay, so what I actually do is I provide a significantly discounted rate to, there's a motorcycle down there. So I provide a significantly discounted rate to, charities and other organizations that might need my help. But yes, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, and I'll mention charity in your tagline when you send me a message. That way I know it's you, because I have about 200 LinkedIn connection requests I have to respond to, and so like make sure that you write that in here so I know to look at it. Anas Oelia, where can I use hypothesis test in a practical real-life data analysis situation? So in the beginning of the live stream, I did mention that a real-life use of I use ANOVA testing to test the difference in warranty, how often batteries were warranted from different factories. So you can go back to the beginning of the video and check that out. And I'm only saying that because there's so many stuff we have to get through. Okay. Claudia, yeah, I work in Switzerland. Cool. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll let you guys know. I'm a big traveler, so I might come through later. Okay, I was wondering if you know what sort of work do data scientists do in the oil and gas industry, or what do you think they do? I am very sorry, I have no idea, and I know oil and gas is a very specialized industry, so I don't feel comfortable talking about that because I really have no idea. But I can ask, I can go look around. My brother went to Texas A&M, so he knows a lot of oil and gas people. Okay, Francis Okoye, I think you need to get, okay, Abuzar Abbas, pandas or NumPy or Matplotlib for a new data analyst? Pandas is by far the most useful thing. And if you know pandas, you'll learn NumPy by extension. RM9 SPG93. Hey man, can the Google Data Analyst Professional Certificate help me get a job? Yes, to the best of my knowledge, it can. JTL Judaman, that would be fantastic. Better yet, would be a website that was interactive with video explanation hints. Okay, cool. I'll go ahead and check out that, making a website that does that. Top Fusion TV, do a video on analyzing a Likert scale data, like did one on SurveyMonkey, could really help. Okay, cool. That's a cool idea. I'll put that into consideration. CF Garcia, do you ever use VB as a data analyst? Many data analysts do. I don't. Mostly because I just never learned it, and I kind of just went straight to Python instead. All right. Francis Okoye, create a database for stock price data and use SQL to extract and analyze the data. Yep. Hey, Francis, great job for patrolling this comment section. I love it. Thank you. Giacomo, I'm doing a master's in marketing analytics, and we do a lot of data cleaning, mining, and building machine learning models. Is it feasible to get a job as a DA? 100%. You have the exact experience you need for that. Make sure you really hammer in on that experience in your resume, and make sure people know that that's what you're doing. Anime Maker. How much does it take to get a data internship? I'm not exactly sure. I never really started with internships myself. I would say get good grades and just really express an interest in it when you're in college, if you're in college. Yeah, that's about it. Mohammed Ashori, thank you. Tunsmay, thank you so much for joining, Tunsmay. How to tackle behavioral questions? I do not have enough data-driven examples. Behavioral questions are kind of about getting the interviewer to like you, I think. I would say the good thing about behavioral questions is what I do for them is I list out all the basic ones and I answer all of them, and I have a one sentence answer written in on a notepad. Especially because we're doing Zoom interviews these days, you can kind of have the notepad angled at a certain area where the interviewer can't see you're looking at it, and then just use that one sentence to kind of form your answer from there. I will do a video on behavioral interview questions as well. I'm an industrial engineer. Can I learn data analysis? 100%. 100% you can, Carlos. And thank you, Sanjay, for saying that. You totally can. Saurabh Bhatia. I'm a marketer who worked at Google, and I'm afraid of coding. I've never done it. I'm good with GDS, Tableau. Google Data Studio is amazing. My last Friday's video was about Google Data Studio. And I perform... So I do have to leave in about 5 to 10 minutes, guys, just as a heads up. Okay, so... I'm doing a master... Okay, and I perform regression analysis on Excel. If I want to go into DA, what would I suggest? Learn SQL. So SQL is not coding, and it's not as hard as it looks. I have a SQL course and a Python course in my YouTube channel. Both are free. I highly, highly, highly recommend them, and I think that they are a great way to get started in the space. Look at my you already know Tableau, so look at my SQL course, and you'll see how easy SQL can actually be. Thank you so much, Sergio. Just started as a financial analyst at a nonprofit and do Excel, Power BI. What do you think? What do I suggest so I'm competitive in future senior positions? All right, let me. Hey, JTL Judo Man, have a great day. I'll see you later. Okay, so Sergio Torres just started as a financial analyst at a nonprofit and work at Excel, Power BI. What do you? Okay. Really hammer down on the analytics portion of your job in your interviews and in your resume. I think SQL is always good to learn, in my opinion. It's not too difficult, and it's very, very good to learn. I think that's always good. And really, what I would say is, when you fill out your resume, try and tell people okay, here is the dollar value of the analytics work I've done. So for example, okay, like one thing I did, right, is I automated this process where this person was doing all this data pipelining work manually, and this manager at one of my old companies who was probably paid about $120K, we think, was spending at least 1 week a month, and a month has 4 weeks inside it, just doing this entire process. I got it to where the computer would handle it by itself in 3 hours. And so basically I just said I saved a quarter of his time. We think he was paid about $120K. So I said I saved the company $30K. So that's what you have to do. You have to really boil down to the numerical value of how much you're saving the company. And I think that's what you can do, Sergio. All right. And thank you so much for the support. Okay. Garl Lenane. What is the average age in data engineering, analytics, science? Feels like a bunch of 20-something living life. I finished uni at 32, 34, depending on MSc or not. Not a personal problem, just curious. Yeah, I would say probably 35 and under. And I'm glad you don't have a problem with it. Look, everyone's life is different. So I'm 26, so obviously I'm part of that cohort you're talking about, but everyone's different. Everyone's life is different, and everyone decides to go about their life differently. Never feel like you are too old to be doing a job, because you're not. And as long as you're willing to put the work in, you are 100%, you are 100% within your right and within and okay to apply. So I think that it can be very intimidating for people who are a little bit older than their 20s, and I don't want it to be that way. I think this is a job that anyone can do if they really want to. So great question. So Harshit, sir, how much do you earn? A lot. Yeah, I mean, I would say, yeah, quite, I mean, I earn a healthy living. And a lot of that's just because I'll be blunt, I'm a bit entrepreneurial, so I am doing a bunch of stuff on the side as well. So, thank you so much, Sergio, for the donation saying thank you, love your vids. It is very, very helpful, and this, helps me keep doing this. Yeah, so Harshit, yeah, how much do you earn? Maybe I'll put that out in a future video. I mean, in the six figures, if you wanted to know, like past six figures. Well, I guess in the six figures. Past six figures would mean 7 figures, right? So in the six figures. Hello from India. Hello. Sea Bear. Can someone tell me what the Sea Bear thing is about? I remember from SpongeBob, but I'm not exactly sure what the reference is to, because Doug Dimmadan has been mentioning Sea Bear since last week. Okay. Yes, Sanjay. Hey, Sanjay P, great job for adding some positivity to the community. I love it. Age does not matter. Okay, Robin Bandara. Trivia O. I have an interview with the data analyst. What should I expect? SQL questions. Seabear, Robin Bandara. I have an entry-level business analyst interview this Monday. Any tips, things to highlight in my interview? Highlight, if you can. You said entry level, right? Okay. Highlight coursework that is relevant. Highlight coursework, and if you have real life experience, like real life analytics experience, highlight that and kind of talk about how you're like very excited about working hard and being a good analyst, and how you think about the business. Like highlight how you think about, like, if you're applying for a supply chain group, talk about how you think about cost savings and how you think about optimization and stuff like that. Look at the group you're applying with, see what they would be interested in. So for example, finance people are interested in like revenue maximization and cost reduction. Supply chain people are interested in cost reduction. HR people are interested in minimizing turnover. So stuff like that. Look at like what group you're interviewing with, see what they're interested in, and really hammer down on why you are perfect with that thing. All right. Claudia W, do you think it makes sense to learning new languages rather than master one, and then like be like dangerous in other languages? So for example, like I'm in the process of mastering Python, and I'm going to become dangerous in R, but I don't, at least in the near term, I don't plan on mastering R. Author of Rokade, hello from India. Thank you. Hello. Sara Bhatia, thanks a ton. Have a nice one. Anime maker, how hard are entry-level jobs? Easier than you think. AN75, what's your opinion of the actuarial field, good or bad? Good job security. I have a friend who's an actuarial. It can be difficult to get into, but it's good job security. AN75, how do you transition from SQL to Python? Watch my Python course. I assume no knowledge of Python, and I try and walk you to being proficient, or like being good at analytics in Python from knowing nothing. AN75, 6 figures. Actuarial should be making 6 figures, correct. Oh, sorry, 6 figures, AN75. Okay, so sorry, in the United States, 6 figures means $100,000 or more, because it's 100,000, that's $100,000. So I'm not going to go specific into how much I earn, but it is in the 6 figures. Milinar, greetings. Nargis, unfortunately, you are a little bit late. I have to leave soon, but if you have a question or something, see, because you just entered, ask it, and I'll see if I can answer it. Dr. Bacon, hello from New Jersey. Just started a job as a data analyst in healthcare. Looking forward to learning a lot from you and your channel. I am so glad. Are you working at like CVS or something? I think CVS has an office in New Jersey. I'm not really sure. Seabear says whoosh. Seabear. Ashish Trehan, what is the breakdown of your day-to-day as a data analyst? Mostly SQL development, dashboard creation, ad hoc analysis, presentation of insights. Yeah, so Ashish, watch the beginning of this live stream. I actually mentioned that when it's one of the first questions I answer. Doug Dimmadin, cheers from UTD. Whoosh, UTD, let's go. Harshit, how much do you earn? Why did you move from chemistry to data science? I had no interest in being in chemistry. So I was in chemistry because I thought I was going to become a doctor, and I didn't quit early enough, honestly. Like in my 4th year, I was like, I want to quit, but at that point, in my opinion, it was too late to do it. I have some friends that spent 7 to 8 years getting an undergrad degree. I don't fully understand why, but up to them. But for me, I was kind of like, let me just get out and get into the workplace. AN75, does money make you happy? The security that money provides makes me happy. So I'm not a huge spender myself, but I am fearful of what a lack of money can mean for being able to provide for my family, eventually family, kids. I don't have a family right now, or I don't have a wife and kids right now, but I fear what a lack of money could mean. And so money doesn't make me happy, but the security it provides makes me feel comfortable and puts my mind at ease. Good question. And I want a Toyota Supra too, so it's a bit of an expensive car. I will say that's the one thing I want to spend my money on. Dr. Bacon, I don't personally like asking people how much they earn, but would you mind sharing how long it took you to get from where you are to where you are in the pay scale? 2.5 years. So I started. I started in the 45 to 60 range, and now I make 6 figures. Again, the only reason I'm not talking about it is because I really do have to think about whether I want to share my salary or not. I know a lot of YouTubers do, and probably at some point in the future I will, but I have to put some serious thought into it, and I hope you guys understand that. Hey, I sent you a LinkedIn request, but I can also send you an email if you think it'll get lost. I got your LinkedIn request. I'll respond to it after this live stream. Hi, what software skills are essential to learn in university to prepare for finance? That's a bit of a difficult question for me. I'd say Excel and SQL are what I hear all the time from finance people. Hardly Dhaliwal. Is data science certificate enough for an internship? I think for an internship, yeah. Purna, love your videos. Can we expect more videos where you solve real life data? Heck yeah, of course. That's the bread and butter of my channel. So I'll keep doing it. Raveen Bendara, your videos are a breath of fresh air. Thank you so much, Raveen. How Tranvan, and I'm so sorry. I'm horribly mispronouncing your name, I'm sure. What do you think the biggest difference is between a data and a business analyst? The level of technical expertise, I'd say. Business analysts typically, in my experience, don't know SQL and Python, whereas data analysts oftentimes will know at least SQL. Your lifesaver, thank you. Is a degree diploma necessary for an entry-level job in DS? No, go ahead and take a look at the Google Data Analytics certificate. It's pretty good. Hi, any book recommendation for learning statistics? The Lean Six Sigma Toolbox, I think. I'll leave it in the description of this video, so check back tomorrow and you'll see it over there. Not CVS, major hospital system though. It's tough because a lot of data analytics stuff on YouTube is business related, so the content is kind of hard to map over, but your skills seem to be universal kind of. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Bacon. I really try and make my, what I do a little bit universal. That's why I don't go too specific and stuff. I'm a very generalized data analyst. I haven't specialized in anything quite yet, because I'm still quite young in my career. AN75, any tips on how to go from data analyst to senior data analyst? Derive value for the business. And you can go from, in my opinion, a entry level to a senior level by just putting in hours. But going past senior, you need to start giving value to the business. And I'd say that's what it is. Whenever you go to your manager and ask for permission, have a document with you that documents the dollar value you've provided for the business. Go back a little bit earlier in the live stream where I mentioned how I actually document value for a business at some point in time, in one of my older jobs. AN75, you're so lucky in the US. UK salaries are way lower. Yeah, US salaries are also quite high. Most books on statistics are tough to read and understand, but you can get started with YouTube. Francis, great point. But AN75, I will also mention, we also get not a great amount of social benefits in the US, so there is a flip side to it. Dr. Bacon, for sure, I don't want to know how much you make. LOL, 6 figs is more than... Yeah, and I would say, I'll put it this way. I think in the next 4 years, I'll be making enough money to where if I never earned any more than what I make on a yearly basis in the next 3 to 4 years, I'd be fine, So yeah, but thank you so much for the respect, Dr. Bacon. Alberto N, can you do more web scraping tutorials? Yes, I can. The Risky Sharma, is it a stressful job? I don't think it's that stressful, actually, compared to other jobs. I know some people that work in contract negotiation and stuff, and that stuff is stressful, man. But I kind of make it stressful for myself. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I do have to head out right now. Thank you so much for the support. I'll be on again next Friday. Excuse me. To answer any questions you have. If you want to support my work, my Patreon is listed if you refresh this page, you'll see it in the description below. If you can't donate to my Patreon or you can't do a super chat, then go ahead and whenever you watch my videos, just don't skip over the ads, please, because that's a great way to support the work that I do. But yeah, I will be on next Friday, so anyone that just got on and wants to ask more questions, go ahead and leave them for the live stream next Friday. Thank you so much for joining, and have a great day.